Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You are watching Lawyers TBA and I'm Aslam Pervez, advocate. Respected friend, today I will discuss. Today I'm going to discuss with Mr. What's your name, brother?
My name is Christian Maldonado.
He is our new friend. We are going to talk about his life first. Actually, he became Muslim now, but I'm going to discuss about his past life. How did he enjoy his life? Yeah, my dear friend, how are you? And tell me about your previous life. Whatever you like to say. Your childhood, your young life, your practical life, your social life. Good thing for public.
Okay.
From your name, starting from your name to up to Muslim, Islam.
Okay.
One moment before Islam.
Okay. I mean, I hate to say, like, the date of birth, it's not that...
Not date of birth. I mean, childhood. Parents.
I mean, I just say, like, when I was here and born in this earth, it's to say, like, I was never meant to be here. I was a premature baby. I was... they said I was not going to live, but I was born 6 months. So... they had me in for a long time in incubation, and after that they said, hey, he's finally good to go, he's ready. After that, the name was never adjusted to my name, the Christian.
Yeah, definitely.
But today, yeah. And I used to say, like, I had two good parents, that's for sure. I've lived under a Mexican household, and of course, going back and forth to Mexico and here all the time, and during my vacations. Then tragedy hit, and I was struck by a car.
Oh.
I was run over.
Who did it?
It was a couple of people in my block. And accidentally, never intentionally.
Intentionally.
So I have two older brothers. They were picking on me, and couldn't find my dad. Went outside.
Which place?
Which place?
Yeah, area.
Oh, Glenview.
Yeah. North of Chicago.
Yeah, pretty much. And after that, I went back to the hospital. Of course, my dad prays to Jesus. He always, as a Catholic, and he was a Christian, and it was fine as we were. But he said, like, if he lives today, I'll go to Mexico and give something to you from me. And we ended up doing that later in the years. And so I was there for at least 2 days in the hospital, came back out, and so they said I was okay. I didn't think I was okay, but they said I was okay either way. Took the MRI and everything.
How old were you?
4 years old.
Oh my God.
So it was pretty young, that's for sure. Eventually, when we did go back and forth to Mexico, this is the time when my dad did give up something, and we had long hair. All the way to the bottom.
You had?
Me and him.
Whoa.
So we had long hair.
You and your father?
Yeah. And so we went to Mexico.
This is still when you were 4 years old?
No. This is eventually way later in life. So like around 7 years old, I think. So I had 3 years of long hair. So he also had long hair. So we went back to Mexico to the church. And there we see, Jesus and the cross and the crucifixion, and we both cut our hair. and pinned it on the wall where everybody.
Who cut your hair?
My dad did.
Huh?
Yeah, and then he had someone cut his hair too, so he ended up snipping off the whole pigtail. So
Is that a religious ceremony?
I really don't know. That's the thing. I think because like he offered something to him, and he promised to do that, so we ended up going there and doing that for it. Religious being, I was in and out with Catholic. My dad was Christian, so he was raised in a different perspective way.
Which state of Mexico?
He was from near Mexico City. So
in America.
Yes. So like the Mexico is this, that's where he grew up in. My mom was further south, like way south, where Acapulco is. So like basically Hollywood, it would be over there. So by that time I was getting to knowing my grandparents, my dad's side. So this is where I've seen my grandma. She's a very religious woman too. She's
very kind, definitely.
And she was very kind, but not to her own kids. But it's for sure for us. It was very different.
Grandchildren.
Yes. So eventually, I didn't get to see her as much, but later on in life, by like 10 years old, my dad went back to Mexico, brought her back, and she'd been bitten by a dog on her calf. So he didn't really want to do that. So it's like she had no one else to be with over there. So he brought her over here for until I was 19. So we had her for a long time in America, and she was great. She was a great grandma, and that's the best thing of her.
When she disappeared?
Eventually she passed away 3 years ago.
Oh.
Yes. So, blessed with her where she is right now. But hey, I do miss her all the time. But she's a great grandparent.
Because she was loving you too.
Yes, she helped me out a lot of things. Eventually, I almost caused her accident, but I didn't. It was close, but not too bad. Later on in life, our trips back and forth to Mexico until when I was 13 years old. It was my last trip to Mexico. Yeah. This is eventually it impacted me so much, and it was my father. We were riding on a motorcycle, and we basically took turns. So I was 13. My dad was already like 23.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Wait, you were 13, your dad was 23?
Sorry, 33.
33.
Sorry, thank you. I was memory numbers. I'm like, no, 33.
32, 20 years different.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fun.
And so we eventually were riding on a motorcycle, taking turns. Then my sister came on, and my other sister. They all hopped on, and then went to get air for the tires, and that's all. And I thought they were going to be back in like 20 minutes, but it turned to hours, and they never came back. And after that, I got the story that my dad was in an accident with my sisters, and he died on impact. So they fell into a ditch, and my dad hit first in cement, and my sisters had a broken rib, a broken leg, a broken arm.
Really sad.
It's very sad, and eventually.
How long before?
How long?
Yeah.
It's been already. I'm already 31, so.
You don't look.
Yeah. So it's been already 17, 18 years since he passed away. Yeah. And again, kind of dawned on me so much that I've really
Definitely.
losing a father figure and never there for me as much. I've always relied on other male role models, but again, they weren't really as much to me. So living with a single parent.
By the way, did the bike now, does it like traumatize you whenever you like ride bikes with Steve?
No, not really. It's just that it's mostly my mom that was basically traumatized from even like mentioning a bike, and she says, "No, you can't ride it. You see what happened to your dad and everything." Yeah, motorcycles and so.
Bicycles?
No, I'm okay with bicycles. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
auto bike you can do it.
I like I said, I can do it. It's just that my parent didn't want me to do it.
Yeah,
But you scared.
No,
It's
No?
It's
it doesn't.
natural, though. Then
Yeah.
things like this kind of thing like traumatizes people.
Yeah, a lot of the times that people would be traumatized from all that. Mostly the impact that happened, and they didn't want to relive that memory again. So, yeah. Well, for me, it was never. It's just basically I'm okay with writing with anything. I was mostly just.
You are a brave man.
Yeah, I was just more of experimenting, if anything. So, I think. But the thing is, for me, I have the most fear I've had was two things. One was the fear of like being weightless, being like in a skydive. I can never do that. Heights to me is nothing. I can look down, no problem. But falling is the other thing. I can never do it. Same thing with falling off a chair. Same thing falling off a ladder. I'm scared beyond belief. I can never do that. Oh yeah, I just have the fear.
I have to think if you fall off a chair.
Yeah.
You got pretty much a lot of times to think if you're falling off like a skydive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna like live in my head. The other one is that I've always lived by, and it scares me to this day. Is that basically the end of the world, the day of when we all leave, and that's basically that scares me the most, and it still does to this day. So, but either way, I mean. I don't like talking about the whole traumatic experience and all that,
yeah.
but that's something that I've all understand like one day would happen. In my later youth, I've gone through high school and not too bad and everything. I've been with the company with UPS for a long time. I've been with them for 11 years.
But your education?
My education, I actually went through a lot. So I stopped at associates. Associates Community College, yeah. So I was at community college. I've been there for at least like 3 years.
Discipline?
Huh?
Discipline?
Yeah, Oakton Community College. I've been there.
Oakton Community College.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I went to Harper next. Harper was a really good school, that's
Good
for sure.
school,
I enjoy them. No problems over there, never anything. Oakton, I've always met with people. I've fooled around all the time, and it's just like school's not for me. But oh well. And I passed with everything. It wasn't for me. So I went back and forth with school, and I tried to do the STEM program. So I tried electrical engineering. So, and it wasn't for me. It was a lot of wires, resistors, everything like that didn't really help me out. I get shocked a lot, so anytime I put something and it just shocks me. So I was like, no thank you. And then I tried plumbing. I have a very sensitive nose, so I have to put a plug on my nose or something so I don't have to smell everything. So I was like, no, it's not for me. Then I did welding. Actually, welding was a really fun trading. Yes, I actually enjoyed it way more. I've also taught some in the class how to do these weldings because I learned by sight. I learned everything by reenacting everything.
Yeah.
So I kind of project or parakeet or just to understand. And so I had a professor come up to me and tell me, it's like, hey, can you teach the class for it? And it's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I did it. He gave me his lecture notes, and I hey, today we're gonna do this and this. And I looked over our class's assignments, and it was pretty simple. And most of those people that I've still to this day friends with are doing way better. That's for sure. I didn't see them improve so much in life. Right now, one of them is a journeyman. One of them is helping out in
Journeyman too?
he's a journeyman, and he's doing fantastic. And this is his last year, and I'm so proud of him and what he's doing.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then I have another one that's basically he's a manager of agriculture, so he blueprints and schematics and design of the building, and he's also in the field and looking all over the people's work, so just to make sure he gets everything on point. So a few friends out there are great. Knowing people comes a long way, and seeing how they are progressing through their welding and the experience is the best thing I've ever seen. Later on in that year, I wasn't financially ready, so I did not have enough money to go on with my profession.
Oh.
So I ended up dropping, and
Dropping education.
Yep. Yep. And so this was already at like 25, and I didn't want to do it.
When you were 25.
Yeah. So throughout I have 3 years of different things. So like I tried plumbing, I tried electrician, and I tried welding.
Welding.
Yeah. And welding was my major one.
Close to you.
Yeah. By the time financial aid was didn't help me in anything, so I just decided to end the education. But a lot of impact happened is that my mom was diagnosed with cancer. Yes, so she was already at 5. So, and this was liver cancer, and it was already growing from her abdominal, from her uterus, all the way down, like from her throat, thyroid, everything. And it was really saddening me because she was my last parent, and she was and she was about to leave, and regardless, I did not have a great family. I've always had fought with my sisters. I've always didn't get in good terms with them, and I try to be there for my mom all the time. Whatever she needed, I tried my best, but I couldn't. That's what the other things were happening to me. So by the time I was on the train and heading back, she already passed away. So I wasn't there for her at that. Yes, this was in Park Ridge.
Park Ridge.
In
west of Chicago.
Yeah.
From here, west of Martin Road.
Yeah.
Park Ridge.
Yeah. So minus. It's still.
This is life.
Yeah, this is life.
This is the life of your name?
Christian.
No, whole name.
Oh, Christian Maldonado.
This is the life of Christian, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
But now, my friend, I'm raising one question. I'm curious. I want to know about, every people like to know about what thing attracted you to Muslim Islam, and from where? This is not one day play, one day game. This is not one day happen. Just you took Shahada and you became Muslim. No. Before coming into Islam, you were thinking, definitely, naturally.
Yeah.
So tell me about history, journey of Islam to Islam.
Okay. So I have a coworker, and he this was UPS still, but in Northbrook. And
Northbrook, respected friend, north of Chicago, north of Skokie, huh?
Yeah. And he was telling me it's like about Islam, and he said it was like, have you tried to become Muslim? And I was like, I haven't really decided anything about that. So, and he was teaching me a few phrases with greeting and peace be upon you, and I try to remember it, and sometimes I'll forget about it. but he was the one who was trying to get me into becoming a
He
Muslim.
was first person in your life to talk about Islam, or before him, you were you know about Islam. You knew about Islam
Yeah.
through media and through here, there.
Yeah, a lot of it.
What were you opinion? What were you thinking about Islam before meeting this person?
Okay. I didn't really know about the religion itself. Didn't really, touch it or anything about it. It's still new to me and everything. But it was never a question about Islam and the way the way the culture is. I just assumed how they are, with their ethic. So a lot of them are just grouped together and stuff like that. So I never questioned it until later in life. I was like, oh, there's different religions. This is like there's Christianity, Catholic, Judaism, Muslim,
And a lot of other
a lot of other ones like Confucian, Tao, Buddhist, and all. And I was just like, I really didn't really question religion at all, just because my parents and my grandmother were religious people, but I was never. They were always
Mostly Catholic people are mostly religious.
Yeah, and I was always brought to, when I was little, to the church all the time until in the family. So, and I really didn't read the book, the Holy Bible. I didn't really know about the Holy Bible or the Bible itself, and so I just tried to, go along with it, let's just say. But it didn't feel like I wasn't in part of them, like really calling me for to be them. But I don't know. That's.
But that person, what was his name?
Oh shoot!
See, this is a greatness, because he invited you. He tried to save you from hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
Because Islam now, what do you know about? When did you take Shahada?
Back in August 24th.
In this year.
No, okay, yeah.
1 month ago.
So the 9th would be, 9th would be September, right?
Yeah, this is
September.
October.
September 24th.
21. I mean, 20 days ago.
Actually, it's going to be a month.
Almost
Yeah,
month.
a month, yeah.
22 is today, yeah.
Yeah.
Month. So, what after taking Shahada, what are you doing? What you thought? What were you feeling to change? Definitely, you were feeling some change. After taking Shahada, you were not sleeping. You were studying. You were meeting with people. You were talking with Muslim people, non-Muslim people. So, what were you realizing and difference between your previous life and Islamic life?
What I've noticed the difference about the Western world and the Islam world and cultures are two different things. That's for sure. I've noticed that, and I can see this in Mexican also, that you're more close to each other as family than anything else, and in this modern society, there's not many of them. They'll like have people set aside, and like your grandparents sitting at a retirement home, or don't visit them or anything like that. Where in a family of Muslim and Mexicans, they're always together. They're always near someone. They always have someone to call.
Yeah.
They always have someone to be there with them.
Yeah.
And seeing like your neighbors also, since your neighbors are really close to you, they're almost like family.
Yeah.
And that's what's good about that, being friends with your neighborhood, and seeing the difference between that too. It's like, I know for sure when you're in a Mexican culture, you hear a lot of rumors, a lot of word spread and everything. So, and that's not really good for anybody.
And not true, yeah.
And some of it's not true and everything. But what leaned me towards Islam is that I was searching for a purpose, and Islam showed me more of a purpose with being closer to God, and then also knowing that I could be saved. And that's something I've always wondered, if I am going to the hellfires, I'm not going to be saved at all. So I kind of want to have a clean way to go and say, hey, I'm ready to accept any possibilities of by God itself. So, and I'd say, you know what, I'm willing to submit to God. So, and I say, hey, why not become Islam? So, yeah, and there's a huge
Does
change.
he know your first friend? You became Muslim,
No, he still doesn't know.
but he was first
You still
person.
work with UPS?
He still works at UPS. Yeah. He I've seen him in a different building where I used to work in, and
Assalamu alaikum out of nowhere. He's kind of surprised.
yeah.
If
and,
you say him salam and give him this glide news, this is the wonderful news
Yeah.
for you and for him and for your future family too.
yeah. There's a couple of people that I also I mentioned too, that I know for sure. His name is Takir, or they call him Taz. He works at a gas station in Wheeling. Yeah, and wanted to become a dentist. So he went to what's it called, University of Chicago, and he also wants me to convert into Islam, and
Because he loves you.
yeah,
He loves you.
Yeah.
If somebody love me, they want to save me from hellfire.
yeah,
If you love me and I'm doing wrong, what is your fundamental duty? To stop me,
yeah,
to talk, to whatever relation we had. So same thing, Islam is a religion of God. This is natural religion. Islam is a religion of Jesus, Moses, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, Ibrahim, Adam. If somebody says about, look, Jesus is son of God, if somebody says,
Oh, most of the time.
yeah,
I've
then
ever
what
heard.
will you answer now? This is a firstly denied.
Yeah.
No, this is a blame. This is a allegation. This is not true. Because if say he has not father, then what about Adam? He has not mother. You know Adam,
Yeah, Adam,
first
yeah, the
man.
first man.
He has no father. He has no mother. And look at Eve. Eve.
Yeah, Eve.
She has no father, no mother, but Adam.
Yep.
She
No mother, but father.
he has father and mother from Adam's left side rib,
Rib. Okay.
came from rib.
Wow.
This is the medical of Allah, God. Whatever Allah like, God like, He does. Nobody can stop Him. Nobody can guide Him. So Jesus, Moses, whatever, we respect. We respect all of those messenger of God, prophet of God, but we follow Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because Muhammad brought last and final book, Quran.
I'm sure you know by now that Islam is not new.
No, it's been
It's
around
the
for a
same
while.
religion that Adam came with, same one that Abraham came with, same one that Moses and Jesus and all these prophets came with. It's just that every time a religion gets tainted, especially in the basic of it, worshipping one God and following the messenger of that time, as soon as that gets tainted, the way of God is that He sends new messenger. He sends a new messenger. So that's what Islam is. And after Prophet Jesus, the only messenger is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There is no messenger in between. And I'm sure you learn about this, and that's like one of the first things that it's like the main difference, actually, the basic difference between Christians and Muslims. Christians worship Jesus. They say he's the son of Mary, son of God. We say he's the son of Mary, and he's the prophet of God. And he did not die. He was lifted up. He will come back when the Antichrist comes. So that's the main difference. And I'm just curious, like, your parents passed away. How's your sister? She was okay in that accident?
My sister was never the same. When the whole accident happened with my father, she was angry all the time, frustrated. She wanted
Because of accident.
because of the accident. Yeah. She didn't really. She caused a lot of problems and where she kind of divided the whole family between all of us, and it just shows that how much hatred in your heart you have. It can never fix anything that was happened in the past.
Maybe she thinks it was her fault. Whatever happened.
I don't know. I can't really say for her, but otherwise by that, I mean,
But how do they feel about you becoming a Muslim? Do they know about it?
they haven't known about it yet. So no, not yet. But
Have they seen you around, like, recently?
they have.
Did
But
they feel a change? Did they say anything?
oh, there's a huge change. There's this. They see me. They see me a lot happier, if anything. So, and I was okay with that. And I still want to know what my sister has to say of me. I want to know what she's going through. But hopefully she finds someone, to lean her to a good path. That's for sure. I don't want her to, I want her to be peace in mind. I want that hatred to be lifted off her heart, the burden on her shoulders to be lifted. Anything in her mind that's still putting her down should be lifted from her. So I do care. I just don't care as much as the past anymore. I rather care what's going on now and then later in the future. That matters to me the most right now, because that stuff that it still hinders you, and take one step forward and take two steps back, and that's the same thing. I'm never moving forward. They're always taking back. So that's why I got to keep on moving forward with whatever I have now. It's just like, what, let's stick with it. Stick right through.
Nowadays,
Yes. So I'm learning a bit of the whole Muhammad passage. So I'm still learning, like, who is the Prophet Muhammad. So otherwise than that, I'm gonna keep on continuing to read more of understanding of Prophet Muhammad and the Quran, just to understand, like, get me to where I am today. So hopefully when I continue on reading the Quran, it'll lift me with all my problems, all my situations, and it'll help me out a lot.
Did you know about Jesus as he was in Christianity before, or no, you're not too religious in that aspect?
I've understood that Jesus died on the cross, resurrected, and 3 days later, and way before that, there was basically he was in the desert for 40 days, 40 nights without food or water, tempted by the devil himself to give up. He had the apostles with him, the 12 apostles.
What about, like, how he was born and what happened with him, his mother, and all this?
Never got to answering that. Never questioned it, if anything. So mostly just saying, like, what happened to Mary after the death, where
Jesus.
Jesus, when he left from left from him, or you know, did he have any brothers or sisters? Did he like really? I haven't really questioned anything about.
Did you read about him in the Quran yet? Did you get to that?
No, I
There's
have
a
not.
whole chapter on. It's called chapter of Maryam.
Miriam.
Whole chapter is about how he was born and around that time what happened and everything.
Okay.
It'll be interesting, I think.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I will give you translated Quran, inshallah ta'ala. But always remember, you have to get knowledge.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is a successful.
Yeah.
If you want to success your life, then you have to read about Islam, and Islam guide you complete your life. So Quran and life of Muhammad, you have to read both books. And nowadays, very easy, my dear. Book and app. I'll give you some application too. You read their life of Muhammad and Quran. If you know about Quran, if you start to read Quran, believe me, you will no need to read anything else. I'm not talking about professional life, how to make money. But Quran guide you. This money is pure, that's called halal. This money is impure, that's called haram. This is the good, this is the bad, this is the Islam guide you, complete your life till last day of our life or this world. So read, improve your knowledge, and I will suggest you take some name, because if you have Islamic name, Muslim name, it will help you. Always is striking you, hey, I am Abdullah. Abdullah meaning slave of God. I'm Abdullah. My name should be Islamic. This name. Then it will change your life. Name is very important in our life. You know, when you born, your parents gave you some name. Same thing, now you born. Whenever you took Shahada, you have, this is your second born. And this is the actual, whatever you did in your life, everything wiped off. God, now you are new baby, not 31 years baby. Today you are like 1 day baby.
Yeah.
Sinless baby. So try to keep or take any Islamic name, whatever you like. That will be good for you and around you. And what did this, when this happened?
When did this happen?
Yeah.
This happened when I was.
Show a little bit.
Yeah. This happened when I was 20 years old. This was actually a tribute to my father. Again, it was. It impacted me, but I was like, you know what? I'll remember him for what he did as when I had him around, and I've always seen him fixing cars all the time. So he was a mechanic.
He was mechanic.
Yeah, he was a mechanic. He loves fixing cars, and he want me to be like him. And
to be mechanic.
To be mechanic, but I've never enjoyed it. So I learned a little bit of it. So I enjoyed a bit of it, but it wasn't that for me. That's for sure. So I stopped when I started when I was 10 years old, and the 3 years I was with him, I've learned a lot. And then by the age of 18, that's when I stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I kind of knew like how to fix drum brakes, front brakes,
good.
radiator. I learned how to take apart the engine. Learned how to put a piston in. It was all like a young age for me, so I could have restored a car.
You can
by
fix your own car.
I can fix my own
You know
car.
what to do now.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong with plumbing, you can do it. Electrical, you can do it. With
Yep.
car, you can do it.
Yeah, it's like some things that I've like pulled for it, and then I could just like do it myself or fix it. So
That's a good thing.
yeah, I've always always to do everything hands-on training. So it's something that I've always wanted to do. That's
to
for
go to
sure.
YouTube to do that.
Yeah. I never was in YouTube, so I mostly just learned it from like professors and what's it called, and my father. So whoever people around me. What I've learned is that if you do want to be passionate about something and you want to learn more about it, work for free. Be an intern in a way, because once you understood how the business works, how they work, you get all that free knowledge on the field, and then later on you can apply it on that all on your own. So
You are smart.
yeah, it's in a way street smart. You know, like I've learned it some ways. So
Thank you very much. Keep in touch and welcome to Pak Islam. And I hope, wish you good luck. Inshallah ta'ala, see you soon. If you have any comments and if you have any question from my respected friend, he's Abdullah. Abdullah meaning slave of God. That's called Allah ka banda. So whatever you have question, you can ask. I will send to him. Good luck. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.